Howdy Aggs. Happy Monday. It was fun to be back home, opening SEC this weekend. Saturday was a wild one for everybody that got to see that. Good 5-set win. We need to be consistent, obviously. Yesterday was a battle. It was close, but we just fell short. We weren't quite executing the way we did on Saturday.
We'll go to the back. We'll start with Justin on the right, and then we'll go to Tyler.
Coach, what do you think the weekend that Caroline had?
Caroline's been solid. You know, we've talked about it before. She's kind of our alpha. She sets the tone of how we compete. I love the way she plays. You know, she has the personality, but just the way she attacks at all times. And she's aggressive in that nature and how she is. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of the way that she competes every day. And I think when everyone starts processing and kind of thinking or trying to do more than they need, that's the nature of team team sports. People try to compensate, but everyone just has to do their job. And I'm proud of the way that she locks in and, you know, she does her job. So she had a pretty big weekend. Maddie B, same thing. You know what I mean? She's been solid for us, very consistent in the middle. So now it's just getting all the pieces to be consistent and firing at the same time.
Besides execution, what do you think was the biggest difference between Saturday and Sunday?
The back-to-back, I mean, you have to lock in. You can't be satisfied just because you finish and you fight one match. The SEC is going to be a battle. We talked about it. We knew Tennessee was good. We knew they were going to respond. You know what I mean? Like, it was a consistent game plan. Their two best players, they were on. You know what I mean? They performed pretty similar to how they did the day before. And so for me, it's how are we going to lock back in and stay hungry to compete back-to-back.
Stay back at TV and go to Tyler and then Travis.
Bird, on Sunday, is it encouraging, even though you lost in 3, each of those sets you could have won, you guys were in it. I mean, is that encouraging at all that there you've shown the fight and it's pretty close to being a win there?
I don't know what the word is that I would use for the way that I feel we were competing. I wouldn't have guessed that the scores were that close. So yes, in some terms, it's like it's worth it. Like you have to lock in and just execute and focus on doing your job no matter what you're feeling. And so, yeah, when you get into SEC play, I love this group. And they do battle and they are grinders. So it's like you have to be that no matter how you're feeling, what the scoreboard says. You have to just be a consistent competitor and lean on each other. And I know they talk about that, but now it's like, how do we put that into action?
Does it help having, you don't have any midweek matches at all? I mean, you got a full week before Georgia. I mean, is that a good thing?
It's huge. We haven't had a full week like this because we've had just midweeks the last 3 weeks, I think, even coming out of preseason. So this is good for us. We're off today. We'll get a solid 4 days to train and really focus on what we need to focus on before we just get to Georgia and then focus on the opponent.
Right front, Travis.
Hey, Coach, talking about consistency from the first game to the second game, what challenges are there when you have the back-to-back with the same team and trying to find that consistency that may be different from a couple days or a different opponent?
The scout might change. Like, you might adapt and adjust a little bit. They might do something a little different. The challenge is when it doesn't change and you win or if you lose, you know what I mean? It's like, you lose, you almost had a chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? You're going to come out, fight. But it's just how can you – opponent is faceless. And your job, it's like you do what you do every time you step on the court, every point. So the challenge is to be consistently the team that we want to be and then execute whatever that game plan is. Just like any athletics team. You know what I mean? You want them to be a certain way every match, but that is going to feel different for them. So how we can turn faster and still be the team we want to be consistently.
Let's go right side middle to Kay from Texas.
Just 3 games into a SEC slate, how have you seen the transfers and the freshmen adjust just through the toughness of the conference?
I think we're going to continue to grow. The SEC is strong. We just had an SEC head coaches, a couple of us get on Zooms Monday mornings, and we can see it just over the course of the first 2 weeks here. It's going to be a battle. The SEC is wide open, and so for our team and those players, no matter what role they're in or filling, we're in the time of the season where, we've had preseason, we've had a couple weeks of SEC play. we know who we are and we've felt it. Now it's like, how consistent? How can we lock in the grind of academics, season, travel, all of those things? We need to continue to become the best version of the team that we have seen here and there.
Left side front is Zach.
Bird, you had a home and home this past weekend at home, or not a home and home, I'm sorry, but back-to-back at home. Now going on the road and having back-to-back, what, if any, kind of other challenges does that present? Is it almost kind of like a tournament atmosphere whenever you have to do things like that?
I think because we've been in the back-to-back now, to some extent, we're used to the travel, we're used to the trips. It's the same it's the physical challenge. Competitively, it's kind of fun. It's fun for coaches, but physically, it's like how you mentally and physically prepare. You play a match, you get X amount of time to prepare and play again that next day. I love going on the road. I think it's a way more focused. They have limited things that they need to be socially interacting with. They can get work done. They can just be in their hotel rooms. We can be more laid back and relaxed. So I think going on the road for them is good, but it's challenging to play on the road, especially in the SEC. So it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? I love going on the road with this group because I think it's a good bonding, but also it's going to be a challenge because it's back-to-back SEC matches.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thanks, and Gig'em.